It scared him.
He wasn't getting any sound, so he'll rejoin. This is Vornheim Stories, session 4 for Saturday morning cartoons. Real quick, while we're waiting on Alex, Aniket, your character Runar, we had to account for their absence last session, so what we settled on was there was that elf in the maps room, right? That like there seemed to be some mutual recognition sort of going on, like when you like entered the room. And we said that you recognized him, he recognized you, you ran, he ran after you. I gave the party the option of stopping him from running after you. They chose not to, deciding that it'd be easier to raid the room if he was gone. So,
very sensible, actually.
Yeah, very sensible. And so now I have a love letter for you. It's not, I didn't write it out as a love letter. It's really more of just a thing. So, can you hear us, Alex?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So your elf ran, this other elf ran after you, and the party let him chase you, and that was that. The love letter thing I have for you is, okay, at some point during the session, I don't care when, but just at some point during the session, even next session if you want to wait that long, explain in character to the rest of the party what happened, like who that guy was, and why he was chasing you, why you were running, and then what happened when he did or did not catch up with you, right? Like just the resolution of it. They get 50 XP each for you telling the story in character. You get an amount of XP equivalent to how interesting and dangerous the circumstances are. So
okay.
It may trigger some rolls, like in like sort of like flashback rolls or whatever. Obviously nothing that will kill you, but you know, if it comes to a fight, maybe it's like he injures you in some way or something like that, right? But in any case, you'll get XP basically like the more you ramp up the deadliness of the story, the more XP you get. So
okay.
So just at any point during the session. But in terms of like what they're up to, so they found this like copper model of the multiverse that Eshragel was looking for, in addition to some of the other things they were looking for in the dungeon, and they brought it back to Eshragel. Eshragel did not meet them. She made them stand awkwardly in the foyer of her manse while they listened to her pleasure herself on stone statues from down the hall. They think, no, they didn't actually go look. There's just rumors. But her manservant basically like delivered the money, and then also a letter written by her, kind of instructing you, like giving another possible job opportunity. Okay. They left instructions at your guys' like home base inn so that you, Runar, can catch up with them. Okay. So, or Erasmus or whoever happens to, whoever wants to catch up with them. But basically, they're on their way to Belet Osk to meet with a person, a contact of Esragel's at the Flouncy Pony in Belet Osk. You guys don't know what the nature of the job is. You don't know who you're even looking for. You just know you're supposed to meet them there. But right now, we ended the session with them on the road to Belet Osk, having scouted ahead and discovered that there are a bunch of orcs and goblins lying in ambush, about a dozen of them lying in ambush up ahead on the road. Runar, I think that's, while they're like kind of making camp, figuring out what to do about like whether to go around or whether to charge forward or whatever, I think that's when you will catch up with the group, okay? They have a woman with them that you don't recognize. She is kind of a short, stocky woman, very plain, and she has a great big ass sword that's as big as she is. It like stands as tall as her shoulder, right? Like it's really big. And there seems to be like an argument going on in camp when you arrive. Okay, about you'll get the basic gist of what's going on, and then but you'll be kind of walking up in the middle of this argument. So, let's just go around the table and just begin. Erstwhile, what's going on?
I'm still waking up. So okay, it was the goblins and the trolls, and we were trying to decide whether to fight them.
Yeah, it's orcs and goblins up ahead on the road. You guys are having an argument about whether to fight them or not. Your sister Marigold is with you, and she wants to go fight them. And I will quote her. She, maybe you see this, Runar. She holds up that big ass sword, and she says, "We shall drink deep of their accursed blood this day, troll fucker." And that's what's going on. She's ready to rush it there and go kill them. She's their hired champion. Runar, just so you know.
She's also my sister.
And she's Erstwhile's sister as well. They hired a champion because there are only two of them. So, and she was cheap.
And crazy.
I need to pull up the Google sheet.
I'm gonna let someone else take the stage because my brain is still half asleep.
No, it's fine. So, or Runar, let's say you approach the camp. What's going on? Like when you see them?
How about I don't know who this woman is, but I'm shushing her.
Okay.
Their scouts are still making their way out from camp. We don't want them to know.
Okay, when you shush her, as if it's not a surprise that you've somehow found us, I'm just like, thank you.
Thank God. This woman, she walks up to you. She's quite short. She's like, I think her eye level goes up to your chest, Runar, right? She walks up to you and she looks up at you and she says, "And who exactly are you, sir?"
I mean, I'm
Are you a man of honor?
Yeah, of course.
Of course. Are we all?
Do you hate orcs and goblins with a passion that burns in your blood like fire?
Well, I don't like them very much, but
good enough. She says, "Gentlemen, I find it rather quizzical that it is or not all gentlemen, really. I guess it was gentleman and woman. But she's mostly talking to the two of you because I think she doesn't take her sister very seriously.
Yeah.
I think it's very funny that I should be the one that has to lead the charge here. I mean, are we all going to just be a bunch of yellow ninnies?
I'm not paying you to lead the charge. Just throwing it out there.
What'd you say?
Before.
Yeah, they're like, we spotted something like
a lot.
Like
it's
10
or
12 of them. And she wants to charge in on them. Like it doesn't matter how many we want to kill. If there's that many, they just will kill us.
I got it. I'm like, sort of take her by the hand. I'm like, Marigold, do you see yonder hill there past the orcs and the goblins and the other terrible things that are going to kill us?
Yes, I'm not blind.
Do you see what a great strategic spot that is for us to stage a counter ambush?
I say,
and what
such cowardly tactics
what
are befitting warriors of honor.
Is there?
What say you, troll fucker? And then she looks at the sword hard.
I do have skill in deception.
So, are you just trying to convince her to sneak around them?
I am trying to. I'm trying to convince her that other hill will be a better place to stage her ambush, and then when we get there, we'll deal with it.
Okay. Well, now you have a ranger, so that's good. You have somebody who can help you navigate the wilderness, right? To get.
I just don't want to run into this fight.
Well, so having a wilder scout will be very helpful, right? So, what's the plan here? I mean, she's willing to listen to your cowardly plan,
Great.
at least
Love
as an opening gambit.
All right, I'm going to be like, well, Runar could find us a quiet path through the woods around it. Then we'll, take that perfect truly ideal ambush spot. Take us past the hill, on top of the hill.
We'll just get lost.
He doesn't get lost. He's a ranger.
No,
I don't
yeah,
get
like,
lost.
yeah, but I mean, like, that's what we'll tell her. Like, oh, we must have been lost. Looks like we're at Belladosc already.
we got lost and wandered all the way to Belladosc. Fortuitous. All right then, Ranger. She says it like it's a word that's just dripping from her mouth, like she wants to spit it out, right? Where would you have us go?
Well,
apart from shame.
There's a path. The orcs and goblins were settling down for their gruesome dinner. There was a path that goes by their camp. I can't guarantee shame along this path, but we can give it a try.
All right, so I think just give me like a wisdom roll, Runar, to kind of safely lead the party around this attack point.
Will do. What do I have? I have dexterity, right? Yeah, dexterity, not wisdom. It's a failure, so it's a failure mitigated by my skill.
Okay, so it's a hard 7 to 9. I think maybe you encounter something different, and I'm going to roll the die of fate to see what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's a bad die of fate roll. So. Okay, so let's RP it out. You guys are basically going like the long way around, right? Essentially through the wilderness, to get around this, to get back and kind of circle back to the main road, right? So you're adding a lot of time and stuff. Marigold's just bitching the whole time. Like she's complaining the whole freaking time because like she's good on a road and she's good on like a level fighting field, but like she's terrible at like, climbing over rocks and going up hills and things like that, right? And she's very, very unhappy, but she's really mostly unhappy because she knows deep down in her heart of hearts that you guys are leading her away from the fight, right? But in any case, that's all happening. That's all going on. Marigold, that she's not being quiet is the problem. Okay, that's the main issue here, right? She's like being very, very noisy. Like, she's just like bellowing loudly about how she just never in all her days of being a soldier in the service to the Duke, or a freebooter in service to such and such, or a mercenary in service to such and such company, never has she ever like turned away from a fight with a filthy orc. Like, she's just going on and on about it. And she says, and she's kind of like walking ahead at a certain point of you all, and you're probably all just getting sick of her at a certain point, right? Like, why the fuck did we bring her? And she's like walking up, ahead, and she walks up to what appears to be like a big, large brown rock, maybe. I don't know. The sun's a little low in the sky, so it's hard to tell. But she kind of walks up to it, and she puts her hand on it, and she says, just look at the three of you, my sister, cowardly as ever, and her two companions, whose names I haven't even committed to memory yet.
Marigold, please, it's not the time for a speech. You always do this.
She says,
I like whisper and I'm like, I think we're headed to the right place for your sister, if you know what I mean.
Drop her off, leave her in Belladosc.
Yeah.
She says, I don't know why you're all being so quiet. She's like, if anything dared to challenge me in these woods, they would find the pointy end of troll fucker, and that would be the end of them. She's like, no one's going to sneak up on me. We have nothing to fear.
Wait, I want to build this up even more. The reason I'm being quiet is because I'm standing next to Runar, telling him a secret I've never told anyone.
What is that?
Which is, Look, I just want you to know if this gets hairy, she's been to war, never actually seen action. Doesn't
Nice. Are you trying to hit flags?
Yeah, and I'm trying to set her up even more. She's not a tag champion. She's an arms woman.
No, that's good. That's good. You can both take 50 XP. She says, did I ever tell you about the time that I participated in the Battle of the Fields of Pelinar?
Yeah, you did.
I slew 14 of the Archbaron's men all by myself. And then she's
Sure
going on and on. And you can see her kind of like, as she's got her hand like on this big, large boulder thing, whatever it is, like that she's kind of like slumping over a little bit, you know, like it's not holding her up completely, right? And you can all see that whatever this thing is she's got her hand on is moving, like it's starting to move a little bit. What do you do?
Jeez.
Golly.
I'm just sort of like sputtering a little bit. I'm like trying to interrupt her, but I can't actually get a word in.
You can't get a word edgewise.
Why don't you?
Maybe it would be fun if I like draw my bow and I'm like ready to shoot it. She's like, "Oh, you're gonna fucking kill me now."
I like that. You draw your bow, and she's like, "Villain, you would draw a weapon against me."
I draw my crossbow.
And that's when it was a great big grizzly bear, or a really
good,
or like kind of a bear of the north, right? Like not quite a grizzly bear, not a polar bear, just a big huge bear, and something in between. Big huge bear like rises up and just like, you know, and she
fire,
and she gets like wide eyed. Okay, go ahead and fire. Do whatever you guys want to do. So, Jurek, go ahead and shoot your weapon plus dex.
Let's see.
Are we using Roll20?
It doesn't matter. I can launch it real quick.
9 makes 10.
Nice. Roll your damage.
And it's a heavy bow d6 plus 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll some hit points for it real quick. Ooh, it's pretty stacked.
Oh boy.
8 plus. I have skirmish, I think. Oh, yeah, +1. Well, I don't know if that. It says +1 damage, and worn armor counts as one type lighter. But it. I mean, we're not in a skirmish.
Yeah, I think that's probably like for not really firing an arrow. So how much damage did you do with just the regular arrow? 8. That's good. It's got 19, so yeah, that takes down a fair amount. Arrow hits. You want to just describe that?
Maybe it like rears up and it's about to like it's like breathing on the back of her neck kind of thing. And then she turns around and she's wide-eyed, and then that's when the arrow like comes flying in and hits it in the shoulder to like rear it back.
Nice. Okay, what about you, Erstwhile?
You know what? I could shoot an arrow, but I'm going full pathos. I fucking brandish my dagger and I'm gonna charge in between her and the bear.
Nice. Okay, that's pretty rough. Go ahead and roll. Runar, you can reroll your hit points too.
Oh, sweet.
Hopefully,
plus strength. Go for it.
Hopefully now, if she survives, she won't call you a coward at least.
I think that might be a 9 because I think there's no minuses in this game. That's a 10.
Nice. Roll your damage.
I guess that's just D6. Good. That'll do a lot. We'll do between 1 and 6.
Everything helps.
What is that? That's a 5.
5.
You guys are getting good hits on it. Yeah. Go ahead and describe what happens.
Okay, I think it's about to like take a swipe at her, and I get there just in time to like slash at one of its claws, get it back, and then I'm like, "This is what I paid you for. Come on."
She says something like, "This is a beast of the forest. It has no motivations. It has no intellect. It does not know what it
It's
does. Hungry. There is no valor in striking down a creature that has no evil in its heart. um, what about you, Runar?
I'm gonna shoot it at 2.
All right, go for it. Plus X.
I got a 9.
Okay, I think you'll get your shot off, but your bowstring breaks.
Lovely. I do 3 damage.
Okay.
The minimum. No, 2 damage. The minimum possible.
Okay, so it's still up. Where do you hit it on spotting?
I think I probably hit it in the shoulder.
Mm-hmm. All right, nice.
So slow it down a little bit, but
good. Are there any mechanical implications for the champion that I need to be aware of?
So again, I actually didn't hire a champion. Champions are supposed to be like heroic and sick, but they also cost 60 gold. And
what you hire?
An armsman, right?
Armsmen only cost 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
So their usual prerogative is to defend their
got it.
defend their employer.
Okay, so
Yeah.
basically, I think
She's my sister,
if you're ever going to take a hit, I think she can take the hit for you, right? So,
Sure.
Yes. She's got 12 HP, a spear, a shield, and light armor.
Okay.
Yeah. Or in this case, a huge sword.
Yeah, or a huge sword. Yeah.
All right. So, do you want to take another shot at it, Jurek?
I want to have after I shot the one shot, I wanted to have thrown it or slung it back and then charge at it and leap off of a boulder with my axe and bury it in it. Yeah.
Nice. Roll plus strength.
5 is 8.
8. I think you'll just be trading hits. So sweet. I don't really know what a bear would do. Find an old D&D manual or something on my computer. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Oh wow, that'll be enough to kill it. And I think it'll just kind of swipe at you in the meantime. But go ahead and just it does. We'll just say it does a D8.
D8. 1.
Okay, nice.
And I've got armor too, so nothing.
Right. Yeah, you're good. Just describe killing it.
Yeah, so I sling my bow and then I charge at it, and there's a little outcropping right behind Marigold, and I jump over her head and plant the axe into its head as maybe its jaws come down on my armor and it just sort of crinkles it or whatever, but doesn't hurt.
Nice. All right, cool. All right, well, so it's the aftermath of that scene. Marigold says, she kind of wipes some sweat from her brow. She says, it is sad when we have to defend ourselves against the innocent creatures that the gods have created, and yet this was still a glorious battle in its way. Congratulations, companions. And she slaps you on the shoulders and shakes your hands. It was well fought. It was well fought. I was happy to have fought by your side.
Shurik is just okay, yeah. I think he wouldn't I think he wouldn't want it to go to waste, and maybe try skinning it and taking meat and stuff, and then we can eat it.
Oh yeah, that's good.
On the way there, because it's 3 days journey, and it's just the first day, right?
It was kind of flexible. It's unclear. I mean, you guys can get to Belladosc and eat. I wouldn't worry about that. I mean, if you want, whatever there is to eat in Belladosc, but they probably eat bowls of hair or something. But you can find.
I think I'll bring the meat.
Yeah, you can take some meat too. That's fine. Yeah, you can just put bear meat in your gear. It'll last just for this adventure because it'll spoil if you don't cure it. So.
Yeah.
All right. But it'll take care of any eating requirements. You guys will be fine. Let's see here. Yeah. But you'll get around this ambush. You guys can get around the ambush and make your way to Belladosc. No problem. So, anything else you want to do with the bear though before we leave? We all good? The bear.
No. I don't think so. Just leave it for the other animals to eat.
Okay.
The rest.
Yeah, so you guys you make your way to Bellet Osk. Marigold's very fussy because she knows that you guys have cheated her out of a fight with the orcs, but that's okay. She's also like just sort of vocally disappointed, you know, like there's some indication that she's maybe not like
super excited to die.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she's all show. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe she'll prove her great worth at some point.
Maybe.
Like when she tragically takes a fall for her sister.
Jason's already like that.
I mean, does her job.
Bellet Osk. Let's put some pictures on the Roll20.
Oh yeah.
So Runar and Jurek have been, but you have not erstwhile. But so we'll just give you kind of some of the basics of the city here, sort of historically speaking, right?
Yeah. Jurek like leans in and he's like, "Shit's about to get real."
Yeah, I don't really know what we're walking towards.
Yeah, well, so they would have explained the basics to you, and which is what I'm about to summarize for you now.
Okay.
Bellet Osk. I've launched a Roll20 if you guys want to get in there. Bellet Osk is it's a city a few days outside of Vornheim, you know. It is a very old city. It's sometimes called the Cruel City or the Lost City. It was founded originally as a leprosarium, meaning all the people who had leprosy were put there to make a life for themselves. Over time, it became just kind of like a place of crazy people. The base, essentially, like most of the population of Bellet Osk is just completely insane. There are some people in the city who are less insane or who have managed to like scrape out a life among all of these crazy people. But it's not a great place. You don't go to Bellet Osk just because you do. Like you only go there if you have business there of a nature like you guys have. Okay. The city is two things. It's marked by how old it is and by the fact that most of the people who live there are off their rocker. Okay. They're not like they're completely like, it's not just like mental illness. They're like insane. Like they're just broken. A few things you'll know because we've discovered them last time. They are there's lots of little weird features in the city. We learned, for example, that they bury their dead upside down for some reason with their feet sticking out of the ground. And so you're just wandering around and you see like feet sticking out of the ground, you know, in different places, like in various states of decay. That's kind of gross. They have defaced all the statues in the city. I don't remember what they did to them. I think they like cut out their eyes or something, but they defaced all the statues. It's an old city, and so like there's like just stuff built on top of stuff, right? Like that, you know, like it's just kind of a gross sprawl.
They were carving new expressions on that.
That's right. Yeah, they were giving them new expressions. That they were making them happy or sad or whatever. I couldn't quite recall what that was. There used to be a fort. The city was built up around this fort in the middle of the city, and this fort, which is even older than the rest of the city, is the home to a lich called the Hex King, and he has a moat around the fort, and in that moat he used to have 7 black swans. And we need to talk about those black swans, don't we? Jurek, isn't there a thing with the black swans we're doing?
Oh yeah. I have a black swan that I wanted to free, but that could be a good ending thing.
Yeah, you can do it whenever. So they have these black swan. These black swans are like the lich's Horcrux, basically, his phylactery that helps bind his soul to the world. Estragel wanted one. They got her one. They also took some others. So I think they're down to like 4 black swans now in this moat. Yeah. So anyway, it's just the fish parade. The fish parade is another thing. It's a constant danger in the city. There's this parade of people that roam around at all hours of the day throughout the city, wearing animal masks, and they occasionally have to feed the fishes. And feeding the fishes means grabbing some poor person like off the street and ripping them to pieces. And then that's feeding the fishes. So that's a thing you always have to be mindful of, like when you're roaming the streets, to make sure you're avoiding the fish parade, right? And the main pub is the Flouncy Pony, which is where you guys are going to be meeting your contact.
And Jurek like rubs his like mouth a little bit. Like,
I'm gonna go get some. I'm gonna go get some coffee, so we'll take a little break. But before we take the break, I have some questions. So, erstwhile, this is your first time in Belet Osk, and I mentioned that the city is both an ancient place and a crazy place.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me two things you see. One that lets you know how old this place is, and one that lets you know how insane this place is. For those of you who are returning, I have a slightly different question for you guys. You guys have been to Belet Osk before. My question for you guys is, you're aware of or starting to become aware of a basic orderliness to the city. Like despite the city's reputation, there is a sort of like order to it. I'd like to know something about like I'd like to know something about the underlying sort of orderliness of the city, right? Like something that kind of keeps it all together. Right? It would be nice to know.
Okay.
Because I think that's the sort of the interesting paradigm of Belet Osk, right? And so we'll come back and talk about those things. I'll give you guys XP rewards for your answers, but let's just take like 2 or 3 minutes, okay?
Okay.
All right.
I updated my character picture now too because he's leveled up and he's got full armor now, so he needs to get updated.
I didn't see it. Is it on the Google sheet or?
Yeah, it's on the Google sheet, and it should be on my little logo thing.
I don't see it.
At the very bottom?
No. Maybe click off of it or something, or.
I think I'm in. Yeah, it shows that you're in the same sheet as me.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, sometimes you guys say that to me, and it shows up later. Like I don't see it right when you guys mention it, so it might just take a second.
Weird. I'll reload it maybe.
Yeah, I'll check it out whenever I get a chance. I can see it on your thing though, so
yeah.
Your lower third.
He's got a really cool helm with like antlers coming out of it and stuff.
Nice. All right, cool. Yeah, so as you guys are entering Belet Osk, Marigold is like, she says, she's always whispering to her sword, right? She's like, beware, troll fucker, this city has an ill-favored look about it. And she's wandering through. Who's got the answers to the questions? Who has an answer to the questions?
I'm thinking it's built out of like a material that looks different in the day than it does the night, and when it's the morning, it's built out of a material that like really highlights what's been done at night, so it's easily like repaired and
okay.
and stuff like that. Yeah, so that like in the morning, whoever maintains this place is just like, oh yeah, this is what they did last night, kind of thing, and then they can like whatever material they just like sell it over.
That's super interesting because it implies that there's like an order or organization of like craftsmen or guilds people who like are dedicated to Belet Osk and maintain it, right? Like,
Yes.
I find that super interesting. That's an interesting little note. It's probably nothing we'll explore today, but it's just an interesting note. I've been thinking about working up Belet Osk for Dungeon World, so I'm trying to take notes on these things.
Nice.
Yeah, I talk about it on DR next week. Like, I really love this setting. Like, I've kind of fallen in love with Belet Osk.
So I was thinking something a little bit more inexplicable, that if you watch carefully what everybody is doing in the city, at least all of the natives, they seem to like change what they're doing, like as if they're on a schedule at a very regular interval, and it's like it's nothing exact. It's like 23.25 minutes or something like that.
Okay, nice.
But like the bartender is like, I don't know, like cleaning his bar, and then 23.25 minutes later he starts serving people, and then 23.25 minutes later he starts going back to his kitchen to cook.
I like that. That's good. That's good. I like this. Like, yeah, that's good. First while.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. I was typing notes. It's okay. First while. So signs that it's an ancient place and signs that it's a crazy place.
Okay. Ancient place. There are on the streets. The streets are the roads are cobbled, right?
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes you have these sort of larger stones that sort of seem to follow sort of to be set up in lines.
Okay.
And the reason is that those are the walls of buildings that are under us.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. So it's like on they're parts.
Yeah, it's like Rome. It's just built on top
Rome,
of other versions of itself.
Perfect. That's great.
And the crazy thing is that there are posters for like whatever you call the dog version of bear baiting, like a dog fight, I guess.
Okay.
but none of the animals on the posters are dogs, yet they keep being referred to as such.
Nice. That's good. Okay, good. I like that. Awesome. Those are great details. Good. All right, everybody, take 50 XP for that little painting.
I think I may have just memed your city a little.
What did you say?
I think I may have memed your city a little.
That's okay. It's not my city, it's Zach Smith's city, but yeah. we're fleshing it out more. I was like looking to see like what resources because in Vornheim, Bellet Osk is only mentioned in like 2 short paragraphs, but he's got a little bit of stuff on his blog, but like it's all very like it's real sketchy, so I think you can kind of do whatever you want with it. Okay, cool. I will remind you guys about a little side job too. One of your family's treasure caches is hidden in Bellet Osk, right? Just as a reminder, you guys can do that if you wish. It doesn't matter to me. But basically, the treasure cache is in a bell tower, and there's a rumor that there's a 3-headed bird that guards the treasure cache. So
cool.
So yeah, where do you guys head? What's going on? You've entered the city. We'll say you enter during the day because that's wise. You wouldn't enter at night. Your contacts at the Flouncy Pony. You have another personal contact too that in Lucretia Prigg, the Baroness, that you did a job for last time too. So.
I like that where it was like there is a fire.
There actually is a drink. Sometimes the people of Bellet Osk sometimes their madness is true, right? Like so that's what makes it more mad.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Jerk is unsure because he either like cradles his like mouth or he's like, or we fight a dangerous, like either we give up some teeth or we fight a creature probably to get this information. Comparable, really.
I really prefer to keep my teeth overall.
So maybe we'll go to the Baroness.
Well, so you guys have a contact at the Flouncy Pony. Like Eschergel says, you are to meet a person there. She made it sound like it's somebody who lives there. So like you can always find them there. Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll go to the Flouncy Pony and hopefully they don't want teeth.
Sounds good to me.
And those were just patrons of the Flouncy Pony.
Yeah, but Jurek is just like, this is how everybody is.
Well, so the innkeep at the Flouncy Pony, she was fairly normal, right? And I think, and I love this little 23.25-minute detail because I think like maybe like you're going up, to like, converse with her. We'll name her, give her a name. She will be called Serenda. Serenda. And I think like if you walk up to her, she's in the middle of like talking to you and finding out like if you need food, if you need a room, all that kind of stuff. And she just stops in mid-sentence and says, "Excuse me." And she like turns and she begins wiping down the bar.
I wonder if it's like a
She's wiping down the bar, and and you can still talk to her, but she's like she had to turn away and stop and start doing that. So
yeah. We're looking for our contact. The Medusa sent us.
Oh, you're from Vornheim, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Vigreet told me you would be by in the coming days, a little sooner than I would have thought.
We made good time. No thanks to somebody, and I like look at Marigold.
She says, Vigreet has a room here in the inn. She almost never leaves. Not easy for her to leave, And she told me that just to send you up whenever you get here.
Okay. What do you mean it's hard for her to leave?
She's like, oh, well, she's a lich.
Oh, good.
I order like ale.
Marigold says, Marigold looks at you erstwhile and says, I have heard of liches. They are wizards who could not bear the thought of leaving the mortal coil, and so they have extended their foul life by trapping their spirits in cursed phylacteries. I say we strike her dead. We destroy her.
I look like a mother whose child hasn't stopped crying in like 5 days. And I'm just like, I've heard that soldiers like to go whoring after they defeat a dangerous bear, and like for like any man who looks like he's on the market. Anyone, please.
Anyone.
Nice, prostitute your sister.
For my noble sister.
She says, I can tell you are in ill. You are in a foul mood, sister. She's like, I see some gentlemen over there rolling dice. I shall go game with them.
Great, thank you.
And like as she like walks away, Jerk is like, and then he just like drinks.
I hand her like as she's leaving, I'm like putting gold, like silver in her hand. I'm like, here.
Oh, actually,
Bet
I
on
still
something
have.
nice.
I still have a fresh tooth, so when she goes, I put it in her hand and take a swig. I'll be like, "You'll need this."
She gives you a quizzical look and
You'll see.
just palms it and walks over there.
I like the idea of just leaving the string hanging of like Marigold on her own in this book.
So yeah,
I like how she just takes the tooth that came out of your mouth.
Well, she doesn't know it's mine.
it was just a tooth, right?
That's like the least of her concern.
Yeah, she looks at you quizzically and doesn't know what to do with it. She just pockets the tooth and walks over to the men who are rolling dice. So Serenda, she's like, yeah, she's a lich. She hasn't left in, oh boy, many years actually. She's quite decayed. She doesn't have much definition anymore in her legs and arms.
I could totally see where the scene is going with Jason. Jason's just gonna be like, oh, let me tell you a story. Yeah, I drink a lot to prepare myself for whatever this is gonna be.
Erstwhile, you notice that like you hear Marigold say, "Very well, villains, have at it." And you look over, and
Oh shit!
there's a guy with like a sharpened like blade who's like cutting off big like huge like handfuls of her hair, like just.
Hair this time.
You know what? She's never gonna learn.
And you notice then that a lot of the men over there have like bloody bald patches like on their head. So.
Jurek like cringes outwardly.
I like put a hand on both of your shoulders and I'm like, she should experience the consequences of her actions.
Thank you. I agree.
Yeah, and I guess we'll just go.
Mother never did. I do.
Yeah. I guess we'll just go meet with the lich while she's gambling.
I kind of want to ask her. I feel like the only way to do this is to join the game. I really don't want to do that, but I kind of want to ask around about the bell tower while we're in an inn. It just seems like the thing to do.
Yeah, I think that's a perfectly fine thing to do. I mean, you can let the rest of the party go get the job from Magritte. You don't have to do that part, right?
No, I don't want to split.
Okay. Yeah, you can do it before or after, whatever, doesn't matter.
Just maybe like ask the bartender.
Magritte never leaves.
Like, hey, what do you heard about that bell tower?
She's like, oh, well, they say there are 3 women who live in that bell tower. 3 women who believe themselves to be queens, and they bicker and argue all day.
That's funny. Are they snakes on the head of a bird or anything? That seems like an important detail.
She looks at you and she says, "That's a weird thing. Never heard of such a strange thing. Are you sure you aren't from Belet Osk originally, friend?" And she kind of gives you a smile.
No. I think it's the correct answer to your question.
You're not sure.
Yep, they're called the Three Queens. The Three Queens of the Bell Tower.
Okay. Are they terrifying or dangerous in any way?
She's like, no more terrifying or dangerous than anyone or anything in this ridiculous city.
Mm-hmm.
Jerk cringes again.
Thank you.
Well, so what's going on? Runar, what are you up to?
So, what was our objective in coming to Beladosk? I'm not sure.
To go meet Estrogel's contact, this woman whose name you now have, Vikrit.
Okay.
Who is apparently a lich.
I think.
Otherwise, you had that was it. You're just going to for the promise of a job. So.
Got it. I think I'm going to leave the negotiations up to these two, and I'm going to go try and keep an eye on the fish parade outside and make sure that when we go to our job that we're not going to run into it.
No, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Whatever other dangers are.
Yeah, I like that. Roll plus wisdom, and I'll give you a certain amount of hold that you can spend to avoid the fish parade.
All right. Ooh. I failed.
Okay. I will take that as hold to have the fish parade interrupt you at my leisure. So
okay. Unless stealth skill mitigates that.
Oh, yeah. If you're kind of watching their movements, yeah, I'll take that.
Okay.
You gotta be extra careful now.
Is that a skill? That's a skill, right? Not an ability.
Yeah.
Okay. In which case, I'll give you I'll give you a single hold that you can spend at any time to avoid.
Oh, I actually have an ability too that says when you scout ahead, you always spot the target before it spots you.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's good. Okay. Well, so here's how we'll do this. Runar. Oh, well, that'll be helpful just as a general matter, right? Walking through the city is not really the same as scouting ahead. So here's what we'll say. I'll give you one hold, and you can spend that hold at any time to avoid the fish parade if you think that's going to be a problem. So
sounds good.
While you're out there poking around, though,
you die.
While you're looking at so let's say you maybe you're on a high building or something, and you see the fish parade, marching through like they do. You'll notice that one member of the fish parade, all the rest of them are kind of yowling and dancing around and acting crazy, right? But there's one person in the center of the fish parade that is that looks remarkably calm and is not wearing a mask. They're wearing a blue robe and a blue hooded robe, and they're very calmly standing in the center of the fish parade. You can't make out their features, but it's a curious thing because the rest of them just all seem like raving madmen and madwomen, right? But there's this one unusual individual in the center of it all, very calm and almost monk-like in their calmness.
All right. Yeah, I think while I'm watching them, I'll see if that person actually interacts with anyone or anything.
Yeah, go ahead and roll plus wisdom.
I failed again.
Are you? Oh, never mind. This isn't World of. I was like, you're getting a lot of XP, but you're not.
Nope.
So you're kind of watching from afar, watching this character who's in the middle of the fish parade, and there's no reason for them to do this at all, but they do. They turn and make direct eye contact with you, like they know you're watching, and the face you see, it's a very, very desiccated skeletal face inside this hooded, robe or inside this hood.
This lich that we're here to meet is totally in charge of the fish parade. Maybe not. We'll see.
They turn and they make direct eye contact with you, and their mouth opens, and you hear a voice inside your head that says, "You have something that belongs to me."
Do I now? I don't have many things in general.
Maybe speaking more generally.
Yeah.
Like your sanity.
Or like that swan.
Oh, that's
We'll see.
totally what it is.
Could be.
Too bad you didn't offload it.
Well, I think I did offload it actually. So
Oh, did
if he
you?
wants it back, I'm gonna have some trouble.
But there is a swan in the party, though, right? You still have yours, don't you, Jarek?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
I still haven't released it and
Indeed.
broken its ties. Yeah. So, yeah, like inside, I think I'm like drinking, and I just tell Erstwhile, I'm like, let me know when you're ready. And he's like, you should probably have some of these, and like shakes his mug. This place is not for the sober.
Very well, fools. Take another clump. I wish to win it back, or win back the rest. And they go for another clump of her hair over there.
She'll be fine. Another one, please.
Oh my god! By the time we get her back, she'll be like bald.
And we will be drunk.
Yeah.
Well, so are you guys gonna go talk to Vigreet?
Yeah, I think I'm like,
When
can I
we
get a
have
bottle of whiskey, please? Down it.
Yeah.
Surrenda. She says, if you'll just wait another 3 1/4 minutes, I'll take you to go find her.
That is agreeable.
At a certain point, Marigold walks over. She's got just like bloody bald patches on her head. Okay.
Good.
He says, "Oh, my commander, my mentor told me to never go drunking and dicing with the men in the pubs because this is what happens." Like, and she says, I have a right mind to go over there and take Trollfucker and get everything I've lost back. But
What, your
in
hair?
one appearance, yes, my hair.
What would you do? What are you gonna do with it? What are you gonna do with it, Marigold?
She says, "Never you mind, erstwhile. Some of us just have a competitive spirit, and we don't like to lose, no matter the stakes."
Well, I think it's endearing. Now we can find you anywhere. When the moon strikes, we'll just look for the glint in your head.
She's like, "Ha ha, very, very, very funny." You. She has not yet memorized your name.
Yeah.
He says, "You should go over there. Go have a roll, if you will. Barkeep." And she orders a mug of ale.
As the mug is coming to her, I'm like, I heard something. I heard a rumor about you.
About me?
Yeah, I heard you are the rowdiest, least disciplined, least doing your jobbiest soldier the city has ever seen. And there's some folks who were making that joke about you. And I thought it was real mean. I told them that was not true, but they didn't believe me.
Why did you tell them it is not true? It is absolutely true.
Well, because they meant it in a bad way.
I don't mind confessing that after a long, hard day's battle, crawling around in the shit with your metal gauntleted hand in the guts of the enemy.
What do I need to do to make you do your job?
I don't mind saying that you sometimes have to blow off some steam. Yeah, singing songs, drinking drinks. I admit to it, if that is the price I have to pay in order to be more effective on the battlefield, then it is a price that I happily pay.
All right, Jarek, let's go hang out with the Lich.
I thought you were going for a flag there, but nope.
Oh, wait, I can, sorry. Jarek, the world desperately needs us to go hang out with the Lich.
Desperately needs us to what?
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 I was just throwing it away. I was like, the world needs us to go hang out with the Lich.
Okay, sounds good. A little bit of a harder flag than you thought.
Unless you daren't go there.
Surrenda says, "Very well, the time has come. Let me take you to her room. It's been 3 1/4 minutes since she last mentioned that to you."
I point like a huge finger that is much bigger than this because I'm a Viking, and I pointed at Marigold and I'm like, "You just drink. stay. Go.
She's like, she just gives you a hard look and kind of takes a towel and like dabs the bloody spots.
As we're going by, I'm just like to the bartender, I'm like, be careful, she's lightweight.
And Serenda nods. Serenda takes you down up some stairs, down a hall in the flouncy pony, and says, "Now I have to warn you, Vigreet is a bug collector."
Great.
Okay.
Just
What's the
fair warning?
It's a good thing we have a ranger here, and I like pat him, but also move.
But he's not there.
He's not with us.
He's not with you. He went roaming around.
Oh, damn it. Okay.
Can you explain why that's a warning? No. I think so.
I pat Erstwhile on her back, but it moves her like forward to the front.
Serenda says she's very friendly. Don't no concern there. She's never hurt anyone. I just tell you that to be mindful because bug collectors. Oof. And she goes to undo the door, and she unlocks the door, or she knocks and then unlocks it. That's interesting that she keeps the door locked, and pushes it open, and says, "Vigreet, there are your visitors from Vornheim are here to see you." And you hear a voice that says, "Yes, send them in. I have been waiting for their arrival."
Is it like
Sounds
all
fun.
dark in there too?
A little dark. There's like a single lantern that kind of just cloaks everything in shadow, right?
Okay.
But one thing you'll notice is that the floor is like the carpet on the floor is very, very, it's like pebbled and oily and black.
Oh my god, those are all bugs. Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Okay.
I dare.
Yeah.
Well,
I know. I think I dared go in.
So
I'll bet.
what
I got
are you
your
up to
back.
in the meantime?
I think.
Wait, okay, so as I'm walking in there, I turned to shit, I'm so bad with names.
Jerk.
Jurek, right? And I'm like, what?
Clearly, it runs in the family.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
I was like, what's your job here again?
What's my job?
Ours. Why are we doing this again?
Oh,
I also don't remember that.
we're just getting work.
Oh, okay, great.
Runar, is there anything else you want to do before joining back up with the group? Or
I don't think so, really.
okay,
Nothing outside. I'll come back and join people.
yeah, we'll say that you were kind of scouting ahead, like as they were going to the Fancy Pony, you were doing your thing out in the city or whatever. So you can rejoin whenever you wish, but just let me know when you want to be at the Fancy Pony, and you can be there.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just come and join them right away.
Okay. I think as you enter the Fancy Pony, though, as you enter the Fancy Pony, the men have started playing a different game.
Yeah.
If you have any thoughts on what that game might be, I'll be happy to hear it. But they're doing something else now, and they invite you to join them.
What if they're rolling bones to see what happens to us upstairs with the Lich?
Like in terms of what do you mean?
Like portents, like reading the dice. And
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I like that. That's good. I think so. Here's the deal, Runar. By the time you arrive, there is on like sort of like a main like long table in the pub area. A lot of people have gathered around, and they have a goat on the table that's just been eviscerated, and there's just guts all over the fucking place. Okay, and there are a couple of like old women that are kind of reaching into the guts and digging into the guts, right? And everyone's like hanging on their every word, right? Like everything they're saying. And Serenda says, "Oh, hello, friend. I remember when you were here. Not but several weeks ago."
Indeed. What are you doing to this poor animal?
She's like, oh, it's just a reading. This happens periodically. The old women, the Hex King throws these goats from the walls, and the old women, sometimes they read the guts right there where the goat lands, but occasionally they bring them in here to the pub. It keeps the patrons happy. People like to get their fortunes read. You should go have your fortune read.
Do it.
Well, why not, I suppose.
When in Rome.
There's a woman, this old woman, if you approach, she turns to you and she says, "Oh, hello, friend. Do you care to get a reading?"
What do you read?
She's like, and she sticks her hands into the body of the goat, and you hear the squish, 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 and she pulls it out, like she pulls out just viscera, right? And she says, "We read this. There is truth in the bowels of the ungulate. Do you wish to know this truth?"
As long as I don't have to touch it myself.
I'll give you 50 XP for participating in the reading. And yeah, so do you want to get your guts read?
I do.
All right, I'm gonna roll a die.
Not my guts, but
Well, yeah, I'll roll a die of fate. Oh, you got a good roll.
Wow.
She pulls out the guts. She says, "I see oil, a vast pool of oil. This oil is," and she's like smearing the guts. And she takes she takes bits of like bloody, like, intestine, and kind of smears it on her eyes. She closes her eyes and smears it on her eyes. And she says, Yes, I see it. I see a demon that would have you wade in, a demon that would drink of your life essence. Be warned."
well, consider me warned, I guess. Anything more you can tell me about this demon?
She digs her hands in again, digs around in there, and and it's just blood dripping from her hands. He says, "I see," and she's considering the stuff dripping from her hands and the viscera and the blood. She says, "It is not expecting you, but it will be very, very happy to see you when you arrive."
Is this just like the way readings are? You just never really know what to make of them?
And then she looks at you and she says, "Surely you do not think I would lie to you?"
Oh, of course not. You look like you know exactly what you're doing in there.
Some toothless, bald, man wanders up and says, "It's my turn for a reading. You've had long enough," and pushes you out of the way.
All right. We're going to get chubby here.
So are you guys, those of you who are in Vigreet's room, are you stepping into the room?
I'll be behind Ursula.
I'm okay with it.
I'll stand in the doorway with my hand on a vial of that fire stuff that I bought, fire oil, and be like, "I'm ready to burn this bitch if something happens."
So as you step onto this this pebbled, oily black carpet, you hear a crunch, crunch, crunch with each of your steps, right? And you see at the other end of the room there is a person sitting on a chair. It looks like a body. It looks like just a skeleton, basically, like a dusty, moldered skeleton wearing a sort of moth-eaten, worn, kind of silky robe, right? And it's just kind of sitting there. It's still the room is very cloaked in darkness, but in shadow. But you can see her there, just skeletal, right? And you hear a voice coming from this figure. Its mouth is not moving, but you do hear a voice, and it says, Have you come from at the behest of Eshrigel of Vornheim?
I'm going to give her a deep, deep bow and tell her that yes, I am.
Good, good. And then you see like the hand raise up, but it's like really obvious that there's like a stick underneath the hand and another hand like controlling.
Okay. While I'm bowing, I'd like to examine the floor.
Yeah, there's a person underneath the robes of this skeleton who's operating it. Like that's pretty obvious.
Interesting.
I am Negreet the Bug Collector, and I have a quest for you.
Your collection is truly impressive. Sure, what's the quest?
Yes. And then like another little like wire or stick like opens the mouth of the skeleton, and like some centipedes like crawl out and crawl all over the mouth and down into the eye socket of the skeleton, right?
Okay.
There is a one in this city who has a bug that I desire, a bug of terrible power and immense value.
Uh-huh.
Will you get it for me?
Sure. This whole time I'm just trying to like figure out who this person is.
You're like,
Like I'm trying to get any view I can of them.
I'll let you roll wisdom.
Yeah. Oh wait, why am I doing this on my phone? Sorry.
It's gonna get cold.
In the meantime, Jerk, what are you up to?
I think that's a 8.
Okay, I'll let you ask one question.
Also,
sorry. What was the final result?
It's a 10.
Oh, a 10. Okay, I'll let you ask 2 questions. Any 2 questions you want.
Okay. What does the person operating the lich look like?
It just looks like it's a man actually. Just looks like some guy, just very nondescript. And he's clearly talking in a voice that's not his own voice.
What can I see about him that gives me a better sense of who he is?
Well, so that's interesting. He actually, you actually see some like on his hands, you see some like tattoos or symbols that you've seen before, of a type at least. Tattoos that are like, that members of certain wizardly orders have like tattooed to their body. Okay. And it indicates like being steeped in magic or maybe even having magical abilities.
Okay. I'm like, whatever this lich's name is.
Begreet.
Picrete.
I'll put it in the title. It's V-E-G. R-E-E.
Oh, the Greet. Okay. I'm like, the Greet, I will certainly do this job for you. Just while I have a moment in the light of your wisdom and your ancient intelligence, I would just like to know how you become so great and powerful.
Yes, it is a wise question. And like the hands are moving up and down like really awkwardly and not naturally at all, right? Like that. What are you doing, Jurek, in the meantime? Jurek, you'll notice the room is fucking crawling in bugs. Like I think like a flying like roach like just lands on your cheek at a certain point. There's just bugs all over the goddamn place. And in jars and in just everywhere.
No, I don't know what I'd be doing. I guess I don't think he goes in there though, but he like still has his like hand on the fire oil just in case it goes south.
Sure, yeah.
But I think based on the conversation, he thinks that this is like no lich kind of thing.
Worth pointing out, she has Vigreet has not mentioned any kind of payment, right? Like in exchange for this, so that might be something a point worth pushing. But because Astrogel hasn't promised you any payment, she just like said, "Here's an opportunity for you guys." And that was that.
Yeah. So maybe with like the light from the hallway spills forward into like the room, and it's just like you can see the outline of his helmet with the elk
Right. Yeah.
things, and then he's like, "A job pays, creature."
Yes, it does. I will give you in exchange for bringing me this beetle that I seek. That's the first thing that she hasn't mentioned the beetle before, did she?
No.
I will gift you each a rare magical bug.
Ooh.
And these bugs are worth coin?
Oh yes, except truly they are priceless.
Okay. All right. And then I think like right before you say what you're gonna say, I think he's like sort of that's when he notices the room is like crawling with bugs and it like leaps onto his face and he pushes it off and he's like, "Arswile, perhaps we should go now." And he sees like them swarming and crawling and shit.
Erstwhile is holding back laughter at this point, so she's like, "Yep." I'm like,
and yet you guys don't
trots right on out. Oh yeah, right. She's like, right. Like, just a second.
Runar, what are you up to? We can't hear you.
I think I wander into the room just as they're leaving, and I'm like, "Oh, are we done?"
I'm like, "No, actually, sorry, I forgot to get the details."
Yeah, and Runar, you'll see like all the bugs everywhere in jars on the floor. You'll see the lich at the end, or this skeleton at the end of the room, like its arms are moving up and down, almost like a Halloween decoration, right? Just like moving up and down.
And I like breathe an audible sigh of relief that it's not the same lich.
Indeed.
That was in the middle of the fish parade.
Right. So at a certain point, like the skeleton's eyes will like light up and its mouth will light up, and you'll hear just like this ghostly wail, like, and it's really obvious that there's just like a lantern being held behind the skeleton's head, right?
Yeah.
Will you undertake this quest for the great?
Yeah, sorry, I thought they were like the great and then building up to something. It was hard to bow even deeper. I'm like, of course. I'm like really hoping there's more special effects.
Very well. You must go to the home of Volo the Oil Slickened. He has on his person a golden scarab of immense and terrible power. Bring it to me, and I shall reward you with a bug of power of your own.
Yes, my lord the great.
I am a lady.
Sorry, in the gender neutral sense, it's like, not specific. Thank you so much for bestowing this job upon us.
Yeah, as you guys leave, you will be like brushing insects off of your body, right? Like probably for the next half hour or so, right?
Gross.
Like, you guys, that was great, right?
When we
there with
leave,
the lantern and the.
When we leave, I'm like, I don't think that was a lich at all.
No.
And he like thinks he's the only one that like caught on to this kind of thing. That was no lich.
That was no lich.
I'm gonna be like,
there was mummery involved.
I'm gonna be like, really? Oh my goodness, the world needs a person like you.
Marigold will meet you all in the main thing, covered in blood. Like she's just covered in fucking blood. And
Marigold.
She comes up to you and she says, she's like, if they ever ask you if you want to read your own fortune, always say no.
Yeah. Oh, Marigold.
All right, Marigold, we have a job.
I kind of give her a look and then look down at myself, and I'm like perfectly clean. I'm like, I don't even want to know.
she's a towel or a cloth, and she's wiping
She
her
still have her
face.
sword.
Yeah, she does have her sword. Yes, yes.
Great.
She didn't lose that in a betting contest. So Volo the oil slickened. I will.
On the way there, I want to tell Runar a secret, and it's going to be about why he's so freaked out by bugs. And it'll be when he was like a young Viking child, that same grandmother that we've been like flashing back to before died eventually, and then he went out. He didn't understand like the concept of death, so went to like go dig her up, and then it was like a horror scene kind of thing with the bugs crawling all over her and eating her and stuff. And ever since then, he just like can't handle bugs like at all. He's like, it's my one greatest shame.
Besides your fear of heights.
Yes. Besides that, but that isn't really shameful. That's just common sense.
Oh.
When you live in the wilds, you quickly learn that the bugs are part of the natural order. But I understand your fear. Nature can be terrifying.
Indeed.
And I like pull a little bug out of my pack.
Exactly. I was gonna say, I thought you were gonna be like, and you like put like a bug off of me or something. Not eat one. Gross.
And then eat it. Ew. Yeah, you guys can both take 50 XP. I'm gonna give you guys your group XP too before we hit, and then we'll take a little break.
Okay.
So let me just make a couple notes real quick. And we'll also reroll hit points here as well.
Oh, I don't want to reroll hit points.
Oh,
I see.
Well, I guess if you're heading straight out from the pub without resting or anything, I guess you can keep your same HP.
Do you need to, or well, you kind of need to.
He's got 11. Oh no.
Erstwhile has 3.
You've got 11.
Yeah.
I've got 11, yeah.
Oh my god, 10! I fire my sister.
Fire. Nice.
Oh, and for participating in the, did you get XP for participating in the reading there?
I think I did.
Okay, well, yeah, you should. It would have been 100. So if you,
okay,
yeah,
16 plus.
and then group XP will be 475. That's from the start of the session. So everyone gets 475.
475. I meant.
So Jason, the guy from the library. I think the story there was it was not in fact my father. It's not the end of my quest,
Right.
but that would be too easy.
Yes.
But when I was thrown out from my adopted family,
Mm-hmm.
I needed somewhere to live. Right, I didn't know how to live off of the wild yet.
Are you telling the story in character?
I think I've probably like told this in bits over our journey to
Okay, good,
Belfast.
perfect. All right, good.
And I think I probably explained it as like, here's the reason why somebody else might be after us.
Mm-hmm.
I basically lived off of this guy's land for like 12 years or something like that as I grew up. And this is like how I learned rangery skills, because I was learning how to keep out of this guy's hair while but he was like a wealthy landowner. He like had farms and estates and all of that. And I was just like stealing his sheep, stealing his cows, like leaving the bones on corners of his fields and stuff like that. And like we never expected to encounter each other again.
Right.
And then when he saw me in that library, he was just like, "Wait, you're no fucking way." And I had like a flashback to my childhood, and I'm like, despite the fact that I'm probably bigger and stronger than this guy now, I was like, "No, gotta run away."
Nice. Oh, you just like a primal sort of fear, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, so what happened when he gave chase? Like, how'd that resolve?
I think I wasn't being totally rational, and he eventually cornered me. And what would have happened? I think he like confronted me, and maybe like after I stopped cowering and hiding from him,
Right.
we actually kind of like talked things out a little bit.
Okay.
But now I just owe him a lot of money.
Oh, roll plus charisma.
11.
I think it maybe even got out of that. Like,
Okay.
I think, yeah. So how'd that go?
I think actually then somehow I managed to talk my way out of like I explained that I had a twin brother, and he was the one
Okay.
that was stealing from him. And I've been blamed for the antics of my brother for ages now.
It's the most improbable, ridiculous offense. It's good. Nice. Okay, cool. So he believes that there's a twin out there of you. Okay, that's good.
Yes.
All right, awesome. Okay, so for telling that story to everybody during the course of the journey, everybody gets 50 XP. You will get 75. Okay.
I have a twin.
Do you when you mention the twin, like, do you say that to the rest of the group as if that's true? Like, even if it's not true, do you say it like, oh yeah, I do have a twin out there?
Are you a compulsive liar that believes yourself?
Yeah, or are you just like, or does the party know you were lying to him? Like, what is this?
Maybe it is something like I've been using this excuse for so many years.
So long.
Like every time somebody catches me doing something I'm not supposed to be doing, that I might sort of believe that it's true at this point.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. Okay, cool. I love it. All right, let's take a quick break, and we'll come back in like 3. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So let's just talk about what's going on right now. You have a job from Vigreet, the bug collector, to go get a golden scarab from an eccentric of the city called Volo the Oil Slickened. Or you also have the treasure cache in the bell tower that is on the map, or that Erstwhile learned about from her family's record of where they had their secret treasure caches in the world.
Oh yeah.
So those are both things that are on the table, essentially. There's also this free-floating matter of the Hex King, who has his eye on you guys, okay? Because you took a swan from him. You took 3 swans from him, so.
I think we took 4.
Were there 4? I don't remember, but you took a number of swans. He's not happy about it.
Yeah.
So
I think there were just 3 of us at that time.
yeah, I think there were just 3 because you each took 1, and you had to give 1 to
Oh yeah, and then
Estragel. Yeah,
We gave mine away, and then the wizard kept theirs.
yeah.
yeah.
And Jurek has one. You have one with you presently, right? Like, is it in a cage or something, or what's going on?
Yeah, I guess I would have been keeping it in the cage. I was gonna.
Do you keep that covered with a cloth so no one can see it, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I was gonna release it into the wild
Right.
after I severed the evil connection thing.
Well, there's that too. So if Runar shares the information with you that the Hex King has got your guys' number, you may want to deal with that too. So there's basically 3 kind of things on the table right now, essentially.
Yeah.
Marigold, you'll notice erstwhile, Marigold really she's really into Bellet Usk. Like she walks up, like while you guys are just kind of wandering the streets, figuring out where this Volo guy is and all that stuff. She just walks up to you, and she's got like a skewer of fingers and eyeballs like on it that look like gently roasted, and she's like, they are strange delicacies, but delicious. And she pops one off and just throws it in her mouth.
Marigold.
The city has a strange effect on her.
Just remind her who's
Almost like she's coming home.
Was it foreshadowing the whole time?
Yeah. So do you want to do your thing with the bell tower action with the
So here's the thing. I'm not here next session, and I don't know that we're going to get that done in 1. So I'm going to say no. Let's not do the tower, because that feels like a thing I have a high likelihood of abandoning you in the midst of.
Okay.
I mean, you guys have the information regardless. So whether
Yeah.
whether Erstwhale's with you or not, like if there's time at some point. So.
Okay. Well, yeah, Runar. What is Runar thinking?
Go check out the bug, I guess.
The bug. Okay.
Yeah.
And then as you're like talking about that Hex King, I'm like, and I like turn my pack around and like lift up like a flap or whatever, and you see like the swans like in there looking up at you. But I'm like, you might be pissed about that.
So with this most recent level, I learned to talk with animals. So I'm gonna talk to the swan and see.
Cool.
Nice.
See if I can figure out what its connection with the Lich is and how we can sever it.
Yeah, that's good. So this is like some new power you have or something? Or?
Yeah, it's one of the ranger abilities. I just
Okay, nice.
You can converse with and attempt to command animals.
Oh, nice. Okay. So okay. You can understand the swan, right? You can understand what it's saying. You can understand what it's like. Normally when you speak to animals, like you hear their sort of like chirping or honking or whistling or whatever the noise the animal makes, and you interpret it. Does it sound like language to you, or do you just like get a sense of what the animal is like wanting or feeling? Like how do you perceive it?
I think it does eventually become like language. It's sort of a primitive language, but yeah.
Okay, sure. I'm just going to kind of I'm not going to RP it then. I'm just going to kind of say generally like what you learned from the swan. Okay.
Okay.
What do you want to know? Like, what are you trying to find out now?
So I want to know how the lich created the connection between the swan and the lich, and maybe that'll give us a clue as to how we can sever it.
Yeah. So one thing you're going to learn is as you converse with the swan, you're actually conversing with two voices. You hear the swan, okay, and you can make out the swan, but there's also like an underlying like voice underneath it, right? That is pretty plainly the Hex King. But it's like the Hex King removed from time. Like they're not like a contemporary Hex King. It's like a Hex King of the past or something, right? And so you've got these two threads of information, right? The swan will tell you that this voice has been with them ever since they were in an egg. They have never known a life without this companion in them, right? They've never known it. It's always been that way. And the other voice, if you listen carefully enough, closely enough, it just like ruminates and talks about different aspects of the Hex King's life. So like, like spells, research, his fortress, like all that stuff. Like it's just kind of constantly, it's almost like data, like it's just cycling through like different data points of the Hex King's life, right? And but the swan has been this way ever since it was born. And I think the only way to truly like, free it of this is to just kill it. There's no real like, I mean, the swan at least doesn't know of any other way. I mean, that's all.
All right. When it's like ruminating about the fortress,
yeah,
does it talk about like where he keeps the bugs or like cellars or secret entrances?
Where it keeps the what now?
We were trying to steal a bug from him, right?
Oh no, you're stealing a bug from Volo the Oil Slickened. That's a different person.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a totally different person.
So our interest in the lich is just to keep him off of our back.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Okay,
the lich is just a character that's like kind of roaming around doing his thing.
Yeah.
No, Volo the Oil Slickened is a totally different cat.
So should we just like put it out of its misery then?
The swan doesn't seem unhappy.
In its cage.
Right. I mean, it's
having all kinds of adventures.
Yeah, I mean, perhaps the best use for this swan is leverage, because the lich is not gonna. Right. I don't think the lich is gonna stop wanting our heads if we kill the swan, but perhaps this threat of killing the swan might be enough to deter him.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because some of the information that I learned before was that we had a ritual, right? Like my people had a ritual to cleanse it or whatever.
Yeah, and you can still pursue that, but the swan doesn't have any knowledge of that. So.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so I'll just do it when I have time. It has to be in like a natural surroundings type thing anyway.
I'm gonna roll the die of fate for just kind of like you guys like roaming on the streets, because it's always a dangerous proposition. I got a 5. So first of all, Marigold wanders off periodically and comes back. And she comes back at a certain point, and she says, "Sister, look at this." And she comes up to you, and she has it's a mask. It's like a wooden mask of we'll say like a tiger, little tiger mask, okay, painted with stripes. And she says, "A man gave this to me. He says I lost it. And I did. I remember this old mask."
Okay, I've known her whole life. This is not her mask, right?
I don't know. I'm sure there were years where she was off at the wars and the battles where you didn't.
Oh yeah, when did you get it?
She's like, well, I don't remember where I got it. I think it was if I recall correctly, this mask was a prize given to me by the Archduke of Thorfenel for cleansing his lands of a particular accursed menace. Yes, that's right.
Because yeah, you have done a lot of that.
I thought it was very nice that this gentleman found it and gave it back to me.
It's just I would be careful because I've heard it's very illegal to wear masks outside here, and you wouldn't want to get in that kind of trouble. Why would I? That's not working.
Runar, you hear the fish parade on like a street, one or two streets over. You hear their banging of drums and their yowling. What do you do?
Sort of start tugging on Erstwild's sleeve, and I'm like, "Listen, you got to wrap up this conversation. We got trouble headed our way."
All right, I'm like, yeah, okay. We really have to get to this job too. So Marigold, let's go. Your services are needed. The services of a great and powerful soldier such as yourself. Please now.
She says, all right.
I desperately need a bodyguard. We're going to just a den of snakes here. Real danger.
Runar, she says, you can see she's going to like put the mask on. She's like, isn't this funny? And then she's like getting ready.
No, please, no. Don't put the mask on.
I'll remind you that the people in the fish parade wear animal masks.
I know.
I know.
Wait a second. That's really not a good idea.
Is she still putting the mask on?
Oh, you can stop her.
Okay, the way I want to stop her is I just want to be like Marigold loud, and mention the fact that I have taken the leadership skill.
Oh, okay. Nice. Roll plus charisma to command her too.
I'm doing it in a commanderly military way.
Yes, I like that.
Oh, sorry, I do that here, not on my phone. It's a difficult thing. 1, 2. I think that's an 8.
Okay.
But
what
with the skill?
Yeah. Well, the skill only affects the 6-, but it's fine. So what do you?
I'm just calling her to attention.
She's like,
I'm trying to get her to straighten up and get in soldier mode.
She's like, yes, that's right. That's why you hired me. I am your armswoman. No, I am your champion. She says, even though mechanically she's not your champion. She puts the mask away. She's like, a silly thing, masks, and she puts it away.
Very silly. Let's go.
Runar, she did mention that a man just gave it to her, like, oh, here, you lost your mask.
I wonder who it was.
What did the man look like that gave this to you?
She's like, well, I could not make out his face. He was wearing a hood, but as soon as I saw it, I remembered that I had lost it.
Was it
It's the Hex King.
blue hood, maybe?
She's like, yes, that's right, blue.
The Hex King's
That's
tentacles
favorite
extend
hood.
even to the party itself.
She's putting away the mask, and she's like, oh, I tell you what, let's get this job over with, though. It's almost time to feed the fishes.
Oh no. Okay. Let's go.
Great.
Before she loses her mind to this place.
I mean, wasn't that the point of coming here, though?
Well, fictionally though. We don't want that.
All right. Well, so Volo the oil slicken. You can ask around and find out where he lives. No problem. He has manse, a very dilapidated manse in the city. There's like a sort of a rusty iron gate that kind of leads to a overgrown courtyard with some defaced statuary, right? Like statues of little kids with frowns carved into the mouth. They're like playing, but they're like, and what do you guys do? And then the courtyard leads to a house.
And like we're stealing this? Or
You guys don't know.
retrieving it?
Vigreet just said he has a golden scarab, and she will give you magical bugs in exchange for it.
I'd like to kind of sneak around, maybe look at some of the windows, see what it looks like in there?
Yeah, do plus wisdom.
Okay. Wisdom?
Yeah, wisdom.
Uh,
It's like discern realities, right?
that's 11.
Okay, you can ask. I'll let you ask three questions of your choice.
Okay. What's the interior of the house like?
Unkempt. It's like the walls are crumbling in on themselves, or the ceilings are crumbled in. The furniture looks filthy and disgusting. It seems almost completely empty.
Okay. Second question, whereabouts is Volo?
You can hear him. You can actually hear him singing, like in a chamber towards the rear. You can hear him singing, and he's splashing around. You hear the splashing of water.
Third question, what is this place hiding?
You have a very, very bad feeling about Volo. It's like you only hear one voice in the place. You hear Volo's, but you get the distinct impression that there are two entities.
All right. I'm going to take that back to the others. I'm like, I think I hear him. He's near the back. I don't think he's alone, though.
Okay. Is there some way to sneak in that you saw, and then we could try to?
Forgot to ask that question.
I mean, the front door and the front gate, it doesn't even, nothing appears to be locked or anything. Like it's just completely.
Yeah, because you would be like foolish to just walk into this guy's house or what?
Are there any darkened windows on the courtyard?
Darkened windows? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
What'd you have in mind?
Like just a window, the room behind which the lights are not on.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah, yeah. It seems like none of the house is used apart from wherever Volo is.
Okay. So maybe I could just peer in one of theirs, and if it looks empty, like jimmy it open.
Sure, yeah, and no one will stop you.
The front door seems like a bad idea. Unless, do we want to sneak in, or do we want to speak to him?
Yeah, you might just be able to negotiate with him, right? I mean,
What do you guys think?
Like, I'm just thinking that if we do end up speaking to him, it probably hurts our case that we broke into his house.
Okay, but
Probably.
what if there's a normal front of like Runar and I, and we go talk, and you're like the backup?
The only thing is then you guys probably also need to take Marigold, because she's loud.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
She's here too.
And you need to
yes.
get her to not mention that I exist.
Yeah. Well, we
I
can
will
just
instruct
tell
her to do those things I just said.
Yeah, like you'll be the backup, or maybe we'll just tell her that we sent you on a different errand or something. And for
No,
now,
I'm dead.
she's with-
I'm dead and she's grieving, and that's why she can't remember that I'm dead.
I don't think like
That seems like on base for this place.
Yeah.
All right, fine.
How about you're just the backup?
I can get rid of her that easily.
Yeah. I don't think she's that far gone yet, where she's just like, oh, he's dead, or she's dead, okay.
No, it's just an easy thing to remember. It's like my sister, who's dead?
Like, are we trying to get her to lie to him?
Just if she does let me slip, there's an easy cover.
Oh, so this is what we would
Like-
tell him about her.
Yeah, like if she's like my dear sister, it's like who's dead? She's having trouble with that one.
She can't process the grief, which is why she
Yeah.
thinks that she's not dead.
Oh, okay, sure. Yeah, that's fine.
I'm just setting this up to be funny, you guys.
Okay. Sure, that's fine. Yeah, so how about you like get ready to be sneaky if needed, and like maybe get yourself in a position where you could overhear the conversation, and if it turns to a point where he's like, no, you're not getting it, then we can keep him occupied while you sneak in and get it.
Okay, so you don't want me sneaking in until you guys are in? Like, should I just be outside listening?
I don't know. What do you think, Runar?
I think you might as well just sneak in and take it, and then.
Oh, and then
No. You better wait.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is it just me alone? What I think I might do is, does the room adjacent, like is there a room close to the front door that is dark that doesn't seem like it's full of monsters and traps?
Doesn't seem like. Oh yes, this room has all the ear markings of traps.
Like, is there some kind of fountain in the center spewing weird mist? Because then I probably don't want to go with that.
You can just sneak in. It's no big deal. I mean, like, if you just,
Okay.
you want to sneak in, like, there's basically no one stopping you. Like, it's just.
Okay, so I'm gonna sneak in, stay close to the front door, just so I can hear their progress.
Sure, that's perfect. Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, and then we'll go in like we're legit.
All right. So you go to the chamber where you hear the singing and the splashing.
Yeah, and we'll like be respectful and knock and all that stuff.
As you approach, you hear this it's like a very warbly kind of singing about oil and how wonderful oil is and how soft it makes your skin.
Of course. This place often takes the words right out of my mouth. So yeah, I guess I'll just kind of look at Runar and be like, par for the fucking course, right?
Yeah,
And then
normal.
and then just like use a ham fist to knock on the door.
So you knock.
Yeah.
The response is, "Oh, who is that there? Do you wish to join me?"
We wish to speak with you.
Come in.
Oh, yeah, like shove open the doors. I'm picturing them like double doors or something, and then they like open in or something.
Yeah, that's perfect. It leads to like this room. There's some braziers hanging here and there. It's fairly well lit. There's even a skylight, I think, that kind of lets the sunlight come in. And it looks like it used to be maybe like a bath, like a large, sort of Roman style bath or something like that, But now it's filled with what is very obviously like slick, viscous oil, okay, like a clear oil, and you see Volo in the center of it. It's like the oil's maybe like 3 or 4 feet deep, and you see Volo like just wallowing in this oil. He's immensely fat. He apparently has no clothing on. And his body is completely shaven of hair. Okay, so he's just like this hairless, glistening person in the middle of this pool of oil, and he's just kind of splashing around and slinging it everywhere, rubbing it on his body. And he says, "Oh, it's so good for the skin. And who are you?"
We are here from a third party in order to ask for the what is it? It's golden scarab. Is it? Yeah.
It's golden scarab.
Yeah.
He considers what you say, and then he kind of like lurches forward and begins to like crawl on his belly through the oil.
No need to get up.
up to the edge of the pool, and he kind of lifts his head up and he says, "I am always happy to receive guests, but I'm afraid it would be very rude of you not to join me."
Marigold, you want to go first?
Marigold is looking at the two of you, and she just says, "This is a queer place," and then she just leaves. She just wanders away.
God damn it, Marigold.
I'm going to find my sister. And she walks off.
Oh,
Don't mind her. Her sister passed away recently, and she's grieving.
Yeah.
Volo looks up at you and he says, please join me. He's like, "I don't bite," and then he like kind of waddles back over to the center of the pool. He sort of like crawl swims through the oil, right?
I'm afraid I'm I'm from wildlands, and I'm allergic to such oil, and from such a young age. It's too bad, really.
And he leans back. He just leans back, and he has some sort of like a pitcher or some kind of vessel, and he pulls it up, and he just lets it splash all over his body, right? Like just splash, 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 splash. And then he sets it down, and he says, he looks up at you, and he gives you a dead serious look. He's like, "I really must insist that you join me."
Okay. Maybe.
So I'll reach down and sniff the oil and stick my finger in it, sniff the finger, see if it's safe.
Roll plus wisdom.
All right.
That's how we're
5.
gonna die.
You will
Unless
notice.
the healing skill applies.
No, I don't think so. You will notice, here and there in the pool, sunk to the bottom are human skeletons.
Oh.
Yeah. Let's not. Yeah.
I will also remind you of your goat reading too, about oil and demons and whatnot.
Yeah.
Are there shaded shadowy parts of this room?
Do you want to try to sneak in?
I would like to have snuck in. Yes.
Yeah, I'll just let you. You can snuck in. No big deal.
Okay.
And I sort of subtly wipe the oil off of my finger.
Indeed.
Maybe we have a word that's
he says, it's
danger.
so good for the skin. He's like, and he looks at you, Runar, and he says, I see a bit of a dry patch there. Are you sure you don't want to get in and join me?
Yes, I'm fairly sure. I've been in the wilds a long time. You don't want me dirtying your oil pool.
He's like, oh, and what about you? And he looks at you, Jurek, and he says, don't you want to feel it caress over your broad, strapping shoulder and your chest? And he's crawling a little closer to you to the edge as he says this.
Still allergic, unfortunately. But about the golden scarab,
you guys may need to convince him, to talk with him without having to get into the oil pool, right?
Okay. Yeah. I'll just say we're quite pressed for time, but perhaps another time we'll come and join you. We can't keep somebody waiting, though.
He's like, oh, and he leans back, and he's kind of he kind of puts he leans back, so just his face and the top of his belly are peeking out of the oil pool now. And he says, I don't need a roll. He'll say, so what is it you're after?
The golden scarab.
A golden scarab. And that's when you see that little bit of his belly that's sticking out of the oil. You see something pressing up in his stomach, it makes a little tent in his stomach. And there's definitely something crawling around underneath his flesh.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay. Can I have lore? Can I try to figure this dude out?
Yeah, sure. I think so. That's fine. Roll plus intelligence.
Intelligence is 0.
Don't worry, you can't fail.
What'd you get?
7.
You have heard rumors of golden scarabs. You've heard rumors that they have defensive properties, magical defensive properties.
Okay.
Are you talking about my little friend? And he pets the little swelling mound on his stomach.
Perhaps yes. What would you need to part with your friend?
He's like, it would be like asking me to part with a beloved pet. I just couldn't do it, I'm afraid. I do like the way he feels crawling around inside of me.
Does the scarab at any point move to his back?
Yeah, you'll see it like it's like traversing the inside of his body.
I am approaching from behind.
Will you get in the pool? The pool of oil. He's always in the center of the pool of oil.
Well, how far from the ledge is he?
Probably not so close that you wouldn't have to get in.
Could I leap?
Yeah, I guess so. Is your goal just to leap on his back and cut it out?
Yes.
Okay.
So subtlety is gone.
Well, I haven't broken stealth yet.
Sure, it's fine.
I'm not maybe necessarily doing that, but that is my intention currently.
He says, "Oh, I can feel him moving around in my
You guys see the
bowels right
flash of a
now.
dagger in the darkness behind.
I can feel him wriggling down below."
Oh my god! What is it he asked of you?
To get into the pool.
He just wants you to get in the pool.
Do you want me to leap?
He says, "If you were willing to come and..."
You know what? I think that this guy's oil slicked back is somewhere you guys daren't go.
Definitely not.
So I'm gonna dare.
Okay.
You're gonna sneak in and just try to cut it out? Is that the plan?
I am going to try to jump onto this guy's disgusting oily body, get an arm around him. I guess there's no way I'm keeping my grip. Otherwise,
it would be very difficult. I think I require at least a dexterity check to like get onto him safely.
In fact, wait. Is there anything like hanging from the ceiling or from the walls opposite, like on the same side of him as the other party members?
Like what you have in mind?
I don't know, like a sconce or some kind of gargoyle or wall decoration,
sure,
something that juts out.
Sure.
Great. So I'm gonna tie my rope into a lasso, and I want to chuck that over whatever that thing is, and then just like swing onto this guy's back.
Okay, nice.
With my dagger in my other hand.
Give me a dexterity.
Oh boy, big roll, eh?
I guess it's a good thing you might not be playing next session.
I guess it's a good thing I took that lucky skill. So there's a 1, and there's so I'm going to use my lucky roll.
Okay, all right.
That might be controversial.
Yeah.
Good. All right. You are. I'll let you get the scarab. Just describe it. What happens?
I just sort of swing and like plant 2 feet on him. One quick slice up with the dagger. I guess I have to toss the dagger. Big loss. Reach in, grab the scarab, and then just like swing off.
Okay.
Like kick off his face and swing towards the party. And I'm like, let's go.
He doesn't even seem to notice you're cutting into his flabby body. Like I think he sees you eventually. He's like, "Who is that?" And he's just got like a big bloody mark on his back, right? And he's not even aware of. I don't think he's even aware of what just happened, right? And he just like slides back into the oil, and he like is just rubbing it over his chest as he like kind of wades backwards into it, and he says, "Are you sure I can't tempt you with a dip?"
I try not to mention that he's getting blood in the oil.
What'd you say?
I try not to mention he's getting blood all up in his oil.
Yeah, he's not even aware of it.
I think we like see this and we're just like, my lord, we'll have to take our leave now. See you later.
You drive a hard bargain. We'll have to look for another vendor.
Indeed. He says, "Very well, very well. Come back anytime."
Yes, we'll be sure to,
Oh yeah, we'll be back.
Yeah, we'll be back.
The scarab is about the size of it's about the size of your fist, and it's just a golden beetle. I mean, that's all it is, and you can pop it in a sack and be on your way.
Does it talk like a beetle?
Do I?
Does it talk like a beetle?
Oh, yeah, I think so. Yeah.
It seems to be just a regular beetle, gentlemen.
Man, that was disgusting. Let's go. Maybe let's bring that back first right away, and then we can do something else after, because I don't think we should be running around with this thing.
Nope.
I mean, nobody seems to be looking for it, including its owner.
Probably a bad
Yeah.
sign. Oh, also my sister
wouldn't-
is somewhere in this fucking house.
Yeah.
Do we just let her learn?
Well, no, we should probably get her, right?
All right.
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah. So maybe as we're retreating, we're just like shouting for Marigold.
Yeah, she'll say, well, if you're just going to start yelling and ruin the element of surprise, fine. And she comes out with you.
She's so funny. So you guys don't want to go get paid right away?
Oh no, let's go get paid.
Yeah, let's get it.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Yeah, so it's probably evening by now, right? We gotta traverse the city. Hold on, let me roll die of fate.
Uh-oh.
No, that's good. Oh, that's bad. Actually, two's bad.
Yeah, I was like, what?
I'll use my one holds to help us avoid the fish parade.
Okay, yeah, you can avoid the fish parade. I think as you kind of like you're aware of their path, and in the distance you can hear them, so you know which side street to take or whatever, right? But Marigold is like, she's like, oh, it's almost time to feed the fishes, and she's kind of going for a mask, you know. Do you stop her?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep giving her like commands.
Okay, she's like, well, sister, what are we going to do if we don't feed the fishes?
It could be a good opportunity for your flag, though.
Oh, to resolve the thing?
Yeah.
True say. Yeah, in that case, I'm just like calmly asking her to please not.
And I'll say like, Marigold, this place has its hooks in your mind. You need to remember who you are and put the fish parade from your mind.
She's like, and then she gets like this really like sad look on her face, and she even like starts to cry a little bit, and she kind of looks up at you both, and she says, "But who's going to feed the fish?"
The fish.
I give her a hug. I'm like patting her on the back, like also just sort of quietly take the mask and put it away.
I've spoken to the fishes here. They're quite well fed, as it turns out.
She's like, all right, if you insist. I'm just so anxious. It's been too many days since I have speared an accursed creature with the end of troll fucker and jammed my hands into their spleen and tore it out from their accursed body and bathed in their blood.
That's right.
I'll be all right.
Yeah, yeah. It seems like she's getting back some of her mind. And like perhaps we should hurry. It seems like your sister does not do well in this city.
I'm like, yeah, I think she needs to go home.
If you say that aloud, she'll be like, but we're already home, sister. What do you mean?
I think we really need to take a trip to Vornheim so you can go shopping for a new sword.
She said, I would never part with Trollfucker. He has been by
new
my
armor
side.
and a cool helmet.
Yes, that sounds good.
A cool helmet, yes. So I guess we'll go to the pub and get paid by the creepy non-lich thing.
Yes.
The non-lich.
The Greet the Bug Collector.
Yeah.
You get there, it's the same business. You're walking on a carpet of cockroaches, and all the bugs are everywhere. Since we've established that you're kind of like weirded out by bugs, Jurek, it might be best if you just hang back, probably, right?
Definitely.
The Greet, it's late at night, right? And her hands are moving up and down, and like you can see the lantern light flickering like behind her skull sockets, right? And she says, that was excellent. Have you already returned with the object of your quest?
Yeah, it was pretty easy to get.
Nice.
Give it to me. Show it to me. Yes.
Here it is. Here.
Wonderful.
Here.
Place it into my hand, please.
I'm like, yeah, those are pretty hard to reach out with your old decrepit bones. I mean, your old ancient beautiful bones.
Yes,
There you go.
yes. And the scarab just like crawls on her hand and just crawls away. She just into the millions of bugs. She says,
This place.
and now your reward is there are 3 clay jars on that shelf over there. She's trying to point, but like the puppetry doesn't quite take it all the way.
Yeah.
There you will find your reward.
So
All
we
right,
can
I
just
walk
take
over.
these.
Yeah, each of the clay bugs, or each of the clay jars has a bug inside.
Cool.
A magical bug, according to Magritte.
All right, sweet.
Do they look magical? I'll open one of them.
They look like bugs. So one is a centipede or a millipede, a very large millipede.
Shoddy knot.
The other is like a flying cockroach, and the third is actually a bunch of bugs. It's just like a bunch of bees, like a bunch of bees in a jar.
I like crack that jar open and then like slam it shut really quickly. Let's not open that one anytime soon.
She's like,
Man, this sets anyone up for a covered in bees bit.
she says, now go. I must attend to the forces of darkness.
Oh boy.
Okay. Great.
All
Are
right.
these bugs magical?
They are actually magical. Yeah, that is a true statement. Yeah, they
I have
magical
lower.
properties.
Maybe I could.
Yeah. Let's just take a quick break. Let's take a quick 2 or 3 minute break. I'm gonna quick bio break, and we'll come back and talk about this. Okay.
Okay. I'm definitely gonna get a Nintendo Switch, Jason. It looks so cool.
I love the idea of it. Yeah, I still want to know a couple things. I want to know what's the battery life going to be like on that thing, and then I want to know. I want to know about the screen. Like, is it a touch screen? If it is a touch screen, is it like a good one, not like the shitty one that was on the Wii U or any of the DSs? So those are my two like open questions. But otherwise, yeah, I'm really into it. Like, it seems like a cool thing.
What is it?
The Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
The new console. It's a tablet that you can dock, and then you can display it on your computer. But you can also take it with you. And then the controllers are on the side of it, so you can play multiplayer with people. You can set up 2 of them wherever you go and play multiplayer. And it has like, they're saying that it has a really good graphics processor and stuff, so you can play like the new Unreal that's coming out for it will be on it and stuff like that. It looks like it could be pretty cool.
Interesting.
It's like a good mix between what they always try to go for.
Yeah. I mean, I always love Nintendo games. So I buy every Nintendo system just because I love Nintendo games, and so like it's worth it to me just to play Nintendo games. But but the Wii U was like was a big disappointment, like in terms of like just how much it got supported in the end, because it didn't sell well. Yeah. And so, but having said that, I had a lot of good experiences with it. Like I love certain games on there, but I just want to, I don't know, like I just need to know a little bit more about this thing before I decide I'm going to get one. But I love it conceptually. Like it seems like such a neat idea. So, because I'm a big fan of like local multiplayer as opposed to online.
Couch co-op is the best.
Yeah.
And right. Zelda is just, I need Zelda in my life.
Yeah. So all that, they're almost certainly going to get my money, but I want to just know, as a token way at least, like more about it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about these bugs. We'll get these bugs sorted out, and we'll do XP and then call it a session a little early. So I don't need any rolls or anything. I'm just going to tell you guys what they are and what they do. So you've got 3 little jars. One is called the one with the cockroach. The jar actually, it like literally says it on the jar. It says Fireball Roach.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Who knows how it's used, but that's what it is. The other one is Jar of Endless Bees.
Oh, jeez. Bees?
Bees. And then the third one is the Millipede of Knowledge.
Ooh.
And that's what they are. If you take some time to figure out how to use them, the Fireball Roach is you just kind of let it fly towards a target and then it explodes into a fireball. The Jar of Endless Bees is exactly what it sounds like. Whatever use you can make of a jar with endless bees is what that jar does. And then the Millipede of Knowledge, you actually have to swallow it. So, what'd you say?
Always wanted to try millipede. They're very rare.
Yes. But whoever swallows the millipede, it has just a one-time permanent effect of the millipede crawls into your body and then like lodges itself into your brain, and you get to increase your int score by 1. So,
oh, sweet.
So who's getting what?
I don't know.
What are the odds? From a meta level, what are the odds of these characters being usable after the next session?
Whenever I run more World of Dungeons, I guess you can use them.
Okay.
Because like the players had the option from the last World of Dungeons session to use those characters here too. So
got it.
All the World of Dungeons games are going to be a persistent world. So
cool.
I'll take the bees.
The Jar of Endless Bees.
Yeah,
something for it.
So
yeah, it
I favor
depends.
the roach.
Okay.
What is that? The Fireball Roach is what you're taking?
But, did you want that too, Fraser?
No, I wanted the knowledge. Yeah. I thought that would be cool. Because I was picturing it as like him getting over his fears thing by having to like ingest his fears and deal with it.
Nice.
I thought
I
I'd do
offer to take the bees off of your hands, and you're just like, no, I got this.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. At the same time as like the swan and the thing, he'll like try to release the swan and then face his fears of the bugs.
Nice. All right. Cool. Great. Well, so we'll call the session a little early. I don't feel do you guys want any more scenes or anything before we wrap up, or are you all feeling?
I think it's just one of me, like, not actually scene, but I think like epilogue style. I'm taking my sister back to Vornheim so she can get away from me.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Do something with Marigold. All right, good. Mm.
This trip was
Yeah.
a bad idea.
There, I will tell you though, as you're kind of like on the way back, and you're having just little side conversations with Marigold and stuff. There's some hints that she actually, because there were a number of like years when she was off at war, right? And you didn't know where she was at, right? There are some hints that like she may have been part of the fish parade. Like that might have been like true. Like there's some hints that like she says some things that make you think like you're a little too knowledgeable about Beladosk. Like,
Okay.
yeah.
Huh.
So just a little grim portent of sorts, which we may not see Marigold again, but like
Never take you back there.
do it. What'd you say, Alex, at the end?
I said I'm never taking her back there.
Okay. Yeah. There's some hints that she's definitely like that she may have actually been part of the fish parade for a while. So good. Cool. Let's just go ahead and do the XP reward then, if nobody else has anything else.
I don't think so. I think we've hit as many flags as we're gonna.
Yeah, I think so. Let's do a quick reward.
Except that Runar never meditates, so I can't interrupt him.
Sorry. I'll work on it.
Yeah, you need to meditate more.
Everyone gets 1530.
Holy shit.
Damn.
Oh, nice. Nice, I leveled. 640.
So what level is everybody at now?
I'm at level 4.
I'm at level 3.
I'm at level 3.
Do I still only have 2 hit dice?
No, so you get to your hit dice. Your hit dice don't go up unless the advancement chart says they do, but your level determines how many you get to keep at any one time. So when you roll,
But so I still only have 2 hit dice, right?
yeah, if the increase in level doesn't bump your hit dice up, you just get 2. But
if you were to gain a point of Constitution, you could get an extra hit die.
right, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That is true. Cool. Awesome. We got some level at your whenever you wish, just in between sessions or whatever you need to do. I'm gonna pull up the rules real fast for World of Dungeons. So
I like the way it kind of curves HP.
that way.
Seems like an elegant way of doing it.
Okay, so when you get to level 3 is a big one because you get like a skill and an ability, which is a good bump, but you're still only at 2 hit dice plus con at that point. And then at level 4, you get another hit die and one more. You get to add one to one of your attributes. So Fraser, for your character, you get to increase one of your attributes by 1. So you'll increase you'll increase your int because of the bug, and then you'll increase another one plus 1 if you wish.
Okay, yeah. I increased my dex from 1 to 2.
Okay, cool.
It's getting pretty powerful these
Yeah,
days.
Jerk's kind of moving up in the world in terms of his abilities.
How do you find like monsters in this like scale relative to Dungeon World? Like
I'm mostly just winging it, but like I'm kind of using just like kind of like basic D&D kind of stats, like hit dice and stuff like that. So, the game is meant to be. The game is like I think the game is meant to like to where you can run like basic like D&D modules with it.
That's it.
Right?
Yeah, I guess thinking about it, I guess it is pretty compatible with like the D&D stat block.
Yeah, it kind of is. Like the hit points,
basic damage.
all that's it all kind of like it tracks pretty well. It's a pretty good stand-in. Like because I had some things that I statted directly from the Vornheim book, especially during the library, because the library, most of that stuff came from the Vornheim book, and so I was able to use those stats, and it seemed to work fine. So
that's really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah. So that as far as like this was originally an experiment to see if I could use World of Dungeons to work or to run OSR stuff without much conversion, and it's working for the most part. There's still like a lot of like Powered by the Apocalypse-ish sort of scene framing and outcome determinations, right? Like all that stuff. But in terms of like just the hard stats, it seems to work okay. So.
Yeah, I feel like the hardest thing about this game, if you were coming straight from D&D or something, is that there's very little guidance as to like partial successes and stuff like that. Like if you weren't coming from Dungeon World.
Yeah, well, and so we were talking about this recently on one of the podcasts. I don't remember which one, but we were talking about how like one of the things I kind of miss from Dungeon World whenever I play World of Dungeons is it's a little tough to think of like the questions just, like off the top of your head. Like, like I've noticed that like whenever I say, well, you have one question or two questions, I can see your wheels spinning as you try to think of what the question is going to be. Right. And the DR questions, and they've all been fine, but the DR questions are like very perfectly attuned for the sorts of things you could be looking out for. Right. Like, so it kind of, so yeah, it's a bit looser. It's a bit more open, but I think if you, I like it. I like World of Dungeons. Like I'm really enjoying this. I'm enjoying the looseness of the system. Like I like how flexible it is. Like it's super flexible. I love the Die of Fate mechanic, all that stuff. So,
have you read Freebooters on the Frontier, Jason?
I have not. No.
Because that one's sort of an really interesting sort of midpoint between World of Dungeons and Dungeon World. I find.
What is it? Like who wrote it? What's it?
So it's by Jason Lutz. He wrote
Perilous Wilds, yeah, and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's actually meant for use with Perilous Wilds, and it's supposed to be a sort of like West Margin style, sandbox. Anyway, there's some interesting characters ideas in there, like class ideas in there. I don't know that they're all perfect. Like some of them seem a little bit. There's like a point economy for every class, which feels a little weird, especially for things like fighters. But maybe that's just my habits.
Yeah. One of the things I find really interesting is like people have asked me like how come I don't use Perilous Wilds, and I haven't even read it, so I really don't even know what's available on there. But one thing that I think that Perilous Wilds does is it does a lot of things that I've developed in my own Dungeon World games already, right? Like the way I handle Undertake a Perilous Journey, the way I have like certain procedures in place that I do that I think replicates like the idea of Perilous Wilds anyway.
I think the most useful thing in Perilous Wilds, honestly, is the GM stuff.
Yeah, I've heard that. The
GM stuff is really good.
Yeah, I think I think anything that like helps GMs like get more out of those like non-dungeon times, I think is really helpful because it's easy to kind of hand wave that stuff and not pay much attention to it, right? So,
well, also for dungeon,
really like having slightly more fleshed out followers too.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea for sure.
When it has this whole dungeon generation like methodology, I don't know what to call it, but it's sort of like somewhere it sort of helps you cobble together like a dungeon cheat sheet kind of thing.
Yeah.
In a way that's really easy to sort of like hook into if you're not familiar with it.
Right. Yeah, I've heard it's kind of like it revolves around like kind of themes and motifs and stuff, which I like. Like that's a thing because I do that. Like again, that's something I do. Right. Like when I plan a dungeon out, I'm always thinking about the big ideas rather than the granular ideas. Right. So yeah, it's cool.
So next week, are we still playing then? What's happening next week?
I think you and Annika are still signed up, so yeah, I'm game.
Okay, sweet.
We'll have a final episode.
Cool.
Cool. Well, that was super fun. I like Bellet Osk.
Yeah.
I like it because it kind of gives me permission just to go bonkers with the NPCs and stuff. I love that. I love all these things would seem really out of place in a normal urban environment to me. I feel like, but in this environment, they seem so they seem so natural to me. Like this, you know, like you would run into these people. Like I like the idea of the city's just houses and spaces filled with just like people who are nuts, right? Like people who are just like completely nuts and doing their
I thought
own
it was
thing.
I thought it was cool that you kind of got like an urban wonderland thing going.
It's a bit like that, yeah, it definitely is. I'm into it. It's been fun, like just kind of thinking of like different things, and I also like to pick up on like they're like little tiny little subtle things that like the players have added that I like to incorporate in small ways, you know, into like what's going on. I love that little 23 1/4 minute touch, and I wish I wish like. Whenever I go to Ballot again, if I ever run, like if I run Dungeon World in it or something, I think I'm gonna really explore this idea of this like guild of people who like maintain Ballot, you know, like they're the reason why the crazy doesn't just like spill out into the world, right? Like I like that idea. So
yeah, it's sort of like the Planescape maintainers, but
yeah.
It's much more sort of like harried and like their duties are very different.
Yeah, no,
but
I like it. It's a cool idea. I think it's a cool idea because that's the one thing that like even from the very first moments we were in the city from that first session was there's a hint that like there are people in the city who have their shit together, like the innkeep, Sorenda, right? Like they have their shit together and they're not affected by the craziness. And I find that super interesting, right? Like,
it seems like a Pleasantville thing where they're like a lot of the people are sort of like prisoners or whatever, but there's the gatekeepers that pretend like they're some of the other people, but they're also like maintaining this thing that's going on, and it's like almost, an experiment or something.
It's almost like the city is an asylum, right? Like the whole city is
because
like
an asylum. There's a really good reason why the city is this way.
This is like a methodology of curing people or something, and it's like just an open plan, and like the people that work there are just part of them or something. That'd be really cool.
Or like the opposite, like their insanity is fueling something.
Well, if there is like a bigger sort of like, you know, like gatekeepers or protectors or like, you know, or the sort of like asylum wards, if you will, of the city, it makes you wonder like why they allow the fish parade to happen, right? Like why is that a thing that gets to happen? Like, you know, like is it a culling device? Like is it meant to like keep populations in check, or I don't know. See, like I don't know. These are all very interesting questions to me. So
yeah, it'd definitely be cool to figure that stuff out.
Yeah. Cool. Well, that was super fun. I'm gonna let you guys go. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Okay.
Okay, you too. See ya. Okay.